Open our third year, chapter 16, moving on. It's one of your last days as a resident. So far, it's business as usual. So, that's when I tried to shake the little dude's paw. And that's how I ended up here. And why exactly were you trying to shake paws with a raccoon? For the gram, obviously, like he'd be viral gold. And he always seemed cool when I saw him in the garbage cans behind the apartment. Well, good news is your blood tests are negative for rabies and other infections, and the cuts should heal in with minimal scarring. But next time you're doing it for the gram, maybe stick to house pets. You've just sent your patient out the door with both hands cleaned and bandaged when Jackie rushes in, eyes wide. Thank God I found you. The exam results, they're here. The two of you rush to the doctor's lounge where your attendings are handing out the envelopes to all the anxious-looking residents, including your friends. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. I can't think straight. I can barely stand straight. What's done is done. We've already taken the test. There's nothing we can do to change what we get. We just have to accept it. The fatalism first thing in the morning. You haven't had your coffee yet, have you, Aurora? All too soon, you're at the front of the line, giving them your name, being handed the most important letter you've ever been handed in your life. Inside this envelope is pretty much the whole sum of my 3 years of residency, my whole career on a slip of paper. I feel so... I'm gonna go with calm. I did the absolute best I could. Whatever's in the envelope, pass or fail, I can handle it. Unless you fail and then you throw yourself out a window. Taking a deep breath, you rip open the envelope and pull out the test results. You unfold them, scan the paper for your final score, and let out a triumphant whoop, because this was surprising. Holy crap, I passed with flying colors. Congrats. Can't say I'm surprised. Grinning, Jackie opens her own results and whoops in victory. Yes, I knew I killed it. Look at that score. Read 'em and weep. Congrats, Jackie. There was never doubt in my mind that you'd nail this. As she gloats, the others open their envelopes as well. Elijah's eyes light up as he unfolds his results. Guess all those study sessions with Zayd and Baz paid off. I'd hoped to do well, but I wasn't expecting to do this well. I'm happy for you guys. It looks like we all did... Oh. You trail off as you turn to Sienna, who's looking at her results, lower lip quivering as her eyes fill with tears. Oh, Sienna. How bad is it? She tries to answer, but her voice comes out as a squeak, and she shakes her head sadly. Did you fail? No way. In what world would Sienna, the queen of no cookies, only stunning, fail this exam? Sienna tries to speak, but instead she bursts into tears. Big, heavy sobs rack her body. All of you find water and tissues while she cries out. Eventually, she gets her tears under control. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to... Sienna, it's no problem. Of course you'd be upset after studying in prep. No kidding. Frankly, if I were you, I'd be livid. You studied so hard and so much work. You should have aced it. Guys, you don't understand. Let me guess. It's all hype and she's being overdramatic because she passed. She lowers her hand to show the results clenched in her hand. You lean over and read. Wait, you passed? And by a huge margin. Then why? Because when I saw that I'm a board-certified internist, it made me realize it's not what I want. I'm on the wrong track, guys. What are you talking about? I thought all the anxiety I was feeling was about the exams, but now I'm realizing it was about not wanting to be an internist. All I can think is how I don't want to keep doing what I'm doing, and that I've completely wasted the past 3 years. Her lips start to wobble again. She rubs at her eyes with her tissue. You wrap a comforting arm around her shoulder. Hey, it's okay. What's the right track? I don't know. I can't think straight right now. But you clearly love being a doctor. Helping people. That's for sure. So, what's your favorite part of your life here? I definitely enjoyed my breaks with the kids in the pets ward. I love making them smile. maybe that's a good place to start. Thanks, guys. You always know how to make me feel better. I guess I need to do some serious thinking about what's next for me. I think we all do. The five of you go quiet, musing on what's next to come. I still don't understand the issue. Later, you arrive in the diagnostics office, where Harper and Tobias are waiting expectantly. You grin and hold your results, slip up like a trophy. Guys, I passed with flying colors. Nice. I'd act surprised, but frankly, I'm not. Congratulations, Casey. You've definitely earned this. And thank God for that, this team couldn't withstand losing another doctor. That stops you all short. After a few awkward moments, Tobias clears his throat. Well, we'll have Ethan back soon, of course. Tomorrow, actually. Until then, I have a case I want you all to look over. He hands out case folders to you and Harper and reviews them and the info as you read the chart. We have a 50-year-old male patient, previously diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. He's been taking prednisone to control the symptoms. Instead of improvement, however, he's reporting that he feels more run down than ever. Could it be a secondary illness? Usually one cause is the more likely diagnosis. The illness could be related. Maybe the UC is aggravating a different illness? Which is possible. Alternatively, it could be the prednisone is aggravating it. What do we know about, as you fall back in a familiar routine of bandying about possible causes? You feel a twinge at how much it feels like business as usual, when deep down you know everything is about to change for you. Alright, let's move on. Harper, you handle Ethan's rounds. Casey, take some samples and get a thorough patient history. And in case it isn't clear, I want a quick solve so I can hand this team back to Ethan tomorrow with something to crow about. As if you wouldn't find something to fit that bill regardless of how we handle the case. Rolling your eyes affectionately, Harper heads out, but you linger behind a moment. There's something that's been on your mind. Before I go, I have to ask, why did you do it? Do what, assign your work? This is what a team lead does, you know. No, I mean, why did you stand up for Ethan in the courtroom? Tobias raises an eyebrow, and then chuckles wryly. Was it really that much of a surprise? It certainly was for the plaintiff's attorney and for Ethan. You haven't answered my question. Look, I'm aware I have a reputation for being, well, a bit of an arrogant jerk, particularly when it comes to Ethan. That's putting it mildly. The thing is, I'm really not that bad of a guy, or at least I like to hope I'm not. Ethan and I have a history, and most of it comes down to the fact that Ethan really is a better doctor. I've always known that. When we were young, I struggled with that, but now I realize it made me a better doctor, too. At the end of the day, I'd never throw a good doctor under the bus, and Ethan's one of the best doctors I've ever known. Wow. I always knew you were secretly a softie. You like to pretend you're all about getting the win and one-upping Ethan, but deep down you care about him. I don't know where you got that idea, but I assure you, my heart is a lump of coal. Nope, not buying it. Tobias shrugs, giving his trademark, carefree grin. Enough about my secret heart of gold. You have a patient to talk to, and I won't be in charge much longer, so I want to milk this. You're on your way to meet your patient when you notice Naveen, Bloon, and a familiar woman walking down the hallway. Hey, it's Naveen. Board member. Asshole. Wait, I recognize her. She's one of the board members from Esme's hearing last year. So that must mean... Naveen opens the door to an empty patient room and ushers the others inside, closing the door behind them. You sigh, frustrated and desperate to know what's being said, when... Please clear up that. The unit is returning to its charging station to await further instructions. I wonder... Binks, I have a job for you. Binks whirls in his wheels, lighting up in acknowledgement. It's a robot, not a dog. Acknowledged. Standing by for further instructions. Can you record things, like, say, conversations? For what purpose? Um, to have records of important medical information, just as, you know, the backup to make sure I catch all the details. Recording patient information is part of my functionality. Please input patient room number and recording instructions. You quickly type the room number into Binks's touchscreen, and seconds later Binks rolls over to the door, opens it with a nudge, and wheels inside, chirping happily. Where did this thing come from? Ignore it. It's just scut work robot on its regular cleaning routines. Besides, this will be brief. I'll let Naveen start. I just wanted to let the board know I'm planning to resign as Chief of Medicine. As soon as I can hire a replacement, I'll be stepping down. May I ask why? Sometimes it's good to know when to take a step back. Don't you agree, Mr. Bloom? Yes, I quite agree. Which is why I'm planning to scale back my role at Edenbrook. Really? That's even more unexpected. I'll still be actively involved in high-level research management and managing the financial health of the hospital as a whole. But effectively, immediately I'll be shifting my oversight to those aspects of exclusivity and stepping back from taking any role of an internal teams. Naveen's departure is a chance for me to refocus and allow our next Chief of Medicine, full control of that department. Frankly, this is an excellent chance for me to reduce my workload so I can spend more time with my wife. There's a glimmer of sincere love there. How would we know we're a robot? And Naveen nods with an improving smile. I'm sorry to hear you'll be retiring, Naveen, but of course the board will approve of it, as well as your new role, Mr. Bloom. Well then, I believe that settles things. When you agree, Mr. Bloom. Bloom sighs, slightly defeated but resigned. Yes, everything is settled. Moments later, the three of them leave the room. Binks rolls out seconds later. He trundles over to you and quickly review the recording he took. Wow. Sounds like a happy ending for everyone. Naveen seems really at peace with the decision, and even Bloom seems genuinely happy to spend time with his wife. The memory of Caroline's letter, lovingly kept in his office, flits back into your mind. Whatever else he is, Bloom is clearly very much in love with Caroline. Awaiting further instructions. Would you like to file this archive? Oh, actually, delete file, please. File deleted. How may I assist you today? Waving Binks off, you smile in satisfaction. Edenbrook is officially free of Bloom's meddling, which is good news for everyone. At least everyone who decides to stay, whoever that'll be. A few moments later, you arrive at the patient's room to take your samples and get his history. Hi, David. I'm Dr. Valentine. Can you start by telling me a bit more about your ulcerative colitis diagnosis? Not much to tell, really. My doctor referred to me to a specialist who confirmed it. He's the one who prescribed the prednisone. I've been following the dose instructions and everything, but I feel even worse than when I started. I'm absolutely exhausted. Prednisone, which is a steroid. Maybe something with immunocompromise. Fatigue isn't a common side effect of prednisone. Have other side effects been bothering you a lot? Other side effects? Prednisone often causes nausea, facial swelling, and notice your jaw looks a little swollen, but that may go down in time. Oh, you mean this? That actually started months before my diagnosis. I just figured it was part of getting older. He has an infection. The part that's bugging me is the exhaustion and the weight gain. It's been so fast. I have these, what my wife call them, stretch marks? Prednisone is a steroid that can put weight on you. Unless he had it before he started taking prednisone. He lifts his gown to reveal a pattern of dark-colored stretch marks striping his abdomen and chest. You make note of them, a theory forming in your mind. David, have you noticed that you bruise more easily? Actually, yeah. I knocked my shin against the table. Not that hard or anything, but the whole area turned black and blue. Would you say bruising has been happening since around the time you noticed the facial swelling? Yeah, now that you mention it. I guess I didn't think much about it at the time. But how did you even know about that? Based on your symptoms, and I suspect a real problem, is Cushing's disease, a condition that causes excess cortisol. That leads to symptoms you've mentioned, plus the face swelling, and we call that the moon face effect. Oh boy, I haven't heard of that one. Prednisone can also cause moon face, so your doctor probably wrote the swelling off as a side effect of the symptom. So, what's the prognosis? Cushing's is easily treatable. Assuming I'm right, medication can fix your cortisol levels and your symptoms should disappear. Thank you so much, Dr. Valentine. You're an absolute miracle worker. I can't believe you helped me so quickly. Smiling, you pull the samples you need and then head out to finish up his chart. Remember, it's not over until it's over. Solve that in record time. So you think. A year ago, a case like that would probably have taken me days to puzzle out. Maybe I am really ready to move on from residency. A bittersweet feeling of pride mixed with nostalgia washes over you, sighing you continue on with your rounds. Later, you and your friends are all getting ready for the special goodbye party at the hospital, a combination send-off for Naveen and the residents moving on, either at Edenbrook or elsewhere. This is officially the last time we'll all be together as residents. I want to go out with a bang. Make a splash and wow your friends and a special someone with one last amazing outfit for the road. Really? This is what we get? What am I, Dukes of Hazzard now? Tonight's all about change. I should definitely change up my look to celebrate. You slip in on, you throw a wink to Locum, who's ambled in. So, what do you think? Thank you. I feel fabulous. You don't look so fabulous. By the time you and your roomies arrive at the impromptu party in the hospital atrium, it's already in full swing. Wow, it feels like the whole hospital is here. I guess a lot of people want to see Naveen off properly. It looks just like just as many people are interested in us. Sure enough, he points to a large crowd of friendly faces, making a beeline for you and your roommates, all eager to know how you did. Jackie, did you end up beating Casey's exam score like you promised? Congratulations, Elijah. We heard the good news from Baz and Zaid. As the others start mingling, you keep an eye out for their familiar faces, and soon spot Zaid, Inez, and Angie chatting nearby. Inez smiles and waves you over. Hey, remember Esme? I guess she just died. Casey, I hear congratulations are in order. I always knew you were going to be a stellar doctor, and you certainly dressed for success. You look so fashionable. And you look like you came from Hogwarts. But then, you always do. I was just saying, Angie, how lovely you looked at our wedding. You really stood out. It classed up the entire affair. Thank you, Inez. Good to see you again, Angie. How was the honeymoon, by the way? Well, let's see, there was a lot of better than I have ever dreamed. Zaid even stayed in Hawaii with us. It's concerning, but moving on. Wait, he did? Zaid, did no one ever tell you three's a crowd? No one has ever told me that. You are in fact the very first witty enough to make that observation ever. I'll have you know we spent plenty of time separately. Everyone had a lovely time, I assure you. It was really great. By the end of the trip, I felt like Zaid had become the opinionated brother I never had. Angie, that's so... don't worry. When you get sick of that thought, I'm happy to do a twin swap. Zaid rolls his eyes as Baz joins the group. I didn't mean to interrupt, though. I just had to congratulate Casey on her boards. It's been a privilege to watch you get there. For once, Baz and I are in agreement about something. Well done, Casey. Thank you so much, guys. Would you mind excuse me? I see someone I need to talk to. Gently detaching yourself, you make your way over to Ethan, who smiles softly as you approach. His eyes light up as he looks you up and down, drinking in the sight of your Dukes of Hazzard outfit. Listen, I'm not letting it go. Our outfit is horrendous. You always manage to light up a room, Casey, but I think you've outdone yourself tonight. I figured it was a night to pull out all the stops. Let me know in the comment section below whether you agree. His eyes break over your body and you feel a warm tingle where his gaze lands. I'm glad you did. Speaking of which, congratulations on your board results, Casey. You did just as well as I expected. How did you hear about my results? You weren't even in today. I know you. If they were anything but impressive, you'd beat yourself up, not smiling with your friends. Speaking of smiling, you seem to be in good spirits. Oh, I suppose I'm feeling mixed emotions tonight. This celebration is important for various reasons. He follows gaze across the room straight to Naveen. It must be very bittersweet for Ethan to say goodbye to his mentor. But I should duck out for a bit. I'll be back on the team tomorrow morning. I need to drop a few things off in the office. Have a wonderful time at the party, Casey, and again, congratulations. You've earned this. He slips out, leaving you at the edge of the party. Sighing, you look over at the celebration, taking in all the familiar faces. None of my friends have officially told me their plans for next year. I wonder if they've made any decisions. Sienna. You half expect to find Sienna in a miserable state, but to your surprise, you find her in a cheerful, animated chatter with some of the other graduating residents. Casey, isn't this party amazing? I hope you're having fun. Though I imagine fun's pretty much a guarantee when you look that good. I always loved your style, Casey. Thank you, but I'm not sure wearing a particular outfit guarantees that you're going to enjoy a party. I'm declaring it does. What could possibly boost your mood more than owning the room? Unless you aren't having a good time? I am, and you seem to be. A lot more cheerful than earlier. Let me guess, you figured out the passing a career-making exam even in a specialty you're unsure about is still a net positive? Sienna's smile becomes playful, almost coy. Actually, what I realized is that I need to do another residency. Wait, what? It's something that's been at the back of my mind all year. How much I love this time I spent in the Peds ward, helping the kids. Once I saw those results, it became really clear that that's the kind of medicine I should be doing. Does that mean you have to do another 3 years? Nope. I spoke to Naveen about it, and as one of his last acts, he approved me for a fast-tracked residency, since I already completed one. I'll be taking the exam again next year, and hopefully I'll be a pediatrician on the other side of it. Oh, Sienna, I'm so happy for you. You are going to make the best pediatrician ever. Thank you, Casey. And the best part is I get to stick around, which reminds me, have you decided? She opens her mouth and then closes it again, shaking her head. Actually, never mind. For now, we should just enjoy this night. She hugs you tightly and you squeeze her back affectionately before releasing her and returning to the party. Check in with Elijah. Elijah is holding court with a group of doctors and researchers, but his eyes light up as you come over and he peels off to join you. Awesome party, huh? Feels different now. Like we're really sitting at the grown-ups table, you know? I love the look, by the way. It's just, it's like you picked that outfit out just to yell, I'm a doctor now! What you gonna do about it? Really? I'd sort of been aiming for medical expertise. Has nothing on my body. It says that, too. Don't worry. It's onion-like in sartorial layers. We really have made it, huh? Feels like a lifetime ago that we walked through those doors for the first time. Yeah, now we're cranky veterans running the place. At least that's what I'm gonna be. You're gonna be staying in Edinburgh? Yeah, I'm planning to continue my research here. It's pretty much a shoo-in. I just need to sign the paperwork. Although... An awkward expression crosses his face, and he clears his throat, leans in, and lowers his voice. I heard some rumors about what Bloom did to Ethan, and, that actually he funded the lawsuit? Do you know if it's true? Yes, they're keeping it quiet. But, yeah, it's true. He, specifically encouraged the patient to sue and underwrote her legal expenses. That's messed up. Bloom might have done some great stuff for the research department, but that's beyond pale. I guess going forward, I gotta turn some of my critical eye on what and who is driving the science, not just the science itself. Luckily, I have a great friend who was willing to point that out from the very start. Elijah, whatever you end up doing, you're going to change the world, and I'm so honored to be in your corner, cheering you on. He smiles softly at that and clearly touched. I never would have guessed that the best part of residency wasn't the science or the medicine. It was the friends I made. Oh, Elijah. The two of you hug, basking in the warm, friendly glow of the moment. And finally, Aurora. You find Aurora staring out of the window a little apart from a crowd, looking almost wistful as she sips her drink, looking outside. As you approach, she glances over and smiles at you. I'm trying to brood over here, and then you show up wearing that, looking entirely too good for me to maintain my melancholy. Good, this isn't a night for melancholy. Anyway, I'll banish it however I possibly can. For the record, that outfit is absolutely doing the trick. What's on your mind? You seem pensive, and the party can't be as bad as your reunion. I seem to recall thoroughly enjoying my reunion, thanks to a certain +1 who nudged me into it. That was a fun night, wasn't it? Any nudging I need to do here to help make this night equally fun? The truth is, I've made a decision. I'm leaving Edenbrook. What? So this is goodbye? I hope not. I'm not going far, and actually, it'll be somewhere I've worked before. Mass Kenmore's offered me a chance to lead a team there, and this time I know I'm ready to blaze my own trail. Congratulations, Aurora. That's a really incredible opportunity. The best news is, it's still a pretty easy commute from the apartment, so the rest of you won't have to find a new roomie. Of course, assuming that the rest of you decide you want to stay. Oh, I mean, that wasn't meant to pressure you at all. Whether you stay here or move on, I know we'll be solid, as always. I probably haven't said it enough, Casey, but thank you for taking a chance on me. I never realized I could have friends as good as you. You lean in to give her a long, heartfelt hug. When she finally pulls away, you see her eyes glistening a bit. On that note, I see some people I might not stay in close touch with that I really want to say proper goodbye to. Of course, and congratulations again, Aurora. I can't think of anyone who deserves this more. She smiles, and after a quick clasp of your hands, heads off towards a group of other doctors. You watch her go, musing on her choice and her new future. Who didn't see that one coming? As the party keeps swinging, you take a moment to grab a drink and look over at the crowds. It doesn't take long to realize that subconsciously you're seeking someone out. The night wouldn't be complete without getting a chance to talk to one person in particular. This is your chance to choose who has touched your heart the most during your time at Edenbrook. Okay, so, let's be real. They kind of really just soured Raph with all of us, didn't they? Jackie is... like, right there next to Raph. Bryce and Ethan were really the only ones I felt were ever, like, allowed for love interests, and a lot of people said Ethan was really pushed on us. Even though Ethan, of course, is someone that I've chosen, so... Ethan's not back yet. He must still be in the office. Quietly, you slip out of the party, heading to the elevator. You find Ethan putting away the last of his things on his desk. He straightens in surprise as you walk in. Casey. I hoped you were still here. I missed you. He seems touched by this, and you see something stirring in his expression. It's not just friendliness or professional pride, it's something far deeper. You feel it deepen even more as his eyes drift over you, lingering on your outfit, on the way it clings to you. Aren't you missing the party? Maybe, but right now you're the only person I want to see. Something flashing in his eyes at your words. Something hot, yearning, passionate, and it leaves you breathless. You stare at each other, heavy, heated silence hovering between you, and you know instinctively that a single move will break the floodgates. Fall into Ethan's arms for a night of passion, and possibly far more. I need you now. Ethan. Take a single step forward and the dam breaks. You rush in each other's arms, kissing each other with fierce, all-consuming passion. His breath is hot, urgent against your lips, and he moans into the kiss, and with something like relief. Casey, God, I needed you. Needed you so badly. Ethan, please. as other words are swallowed by his lips, his tongue slipping into your mouth, leaving you breathless and shaking with intensity. He bears into you, bracing you tightly, pushing you backwards until the backs of your thighs hit the edge of the desk. His kisses are coming even faster now, more eager, if that's even possible. You've forgotten how to breathe, how to think, only to remember how to feel. It sounds like a seizure. I'm serious. This book sometimes. When he finally breaks you away, you're both panting heavily and Ethan's eyes are dark and glittering with desire. With a single powerful movement, Ethan, usually so neat and tidy and methodical, shoves everything off his desk to the floor. Deja vu from literally when we started this relationship with him. Papers, pens, and even metal coffee cup mug tumble to the ground. And suddenly he lifts you in his strong, muscled arms, depositing you on the desk and attacking your neck with his lips. Groaning in pleasure, you arch and writhe in his arms as his hot, wet mouth trails along the sensitive skin of your throat. Please, more. I need all of you. His lips meet yours again. Hands, once steady and capable, now fumble desperately at your clothing, tugging at them urgently as if you're suffocating you or him or both. Your hands are equally urgent, pulling at the fine fabric of Ethan's shirt, almost ripping off in a frenzied passion, even as you fall deeper into his kiss. I need to feel him touching me. By some miracle, you finally remember how buttons work. I'm not even making that up. And you tear off your shirt with almost inhuman speed, pressing your lips to his again. This is worse than a cheesy romance novel. Ethan, groaning into the kiss, only breaking it long enough to tear your clothes off, you lift your arms, helping him disrobe him. Better. As soon as your clothes are cast aside, he's once again on you, kissing you, lips, cheeks, throat, the curve of your chest, relishing your moans. As you kiss, his hand slip down beneath the hem of your panties. God, yes. Seems like you're just as excited as I am. I could make a pun, I'm not. Ethan tugs at his belt in one fierce, swift motion, leaving you briefly bereft of his body pressing against you. Get back here. I need to feel you against me, now. Sooner, you've made your breathless, desperate plea when he's between your legs, pressing the whole length of his body against you, chest to chest, hip to hip. With a growl, he begins moving his hips against yours, and you moan at the pressure, the rhythm against your intimate spot. With a growl, he begins moving his hips against yours, and the moan at the pressure, the rhythm against your most intimate spot. God, does this feel as good for you as it does for me? You bite your lip and nod, savoring the way his warmth and firmness feel through the fabric of your panties pressed against you. So soft. But in reply, you wrap your legs around his hips and grinding against him, relishing the intimate contact that rasps the fabric against its sensitive skin. Ethan grinds against you just as eagerly, going faster and faster, making the desk jerk and shake with the force of his movements, kissing you senselessly. Oh, right there. You lose yourself in the rhythm, bucking and arching against him until you think you might be about to explode. Even then, you almost want him to keep going. But he pulls away at the last, breathing hard, but eyes bright with fiery intent. If we're gonna do this, I want nothing between us when I finally watch you come undone. His words make your body clench. Your mouth go dry with desire, almost as if commanded. You strip your underwear off as fast as you can. He unzips his pants with a single motion, pushing them aside, and his boxers to the floor. He's dripping and bare in front of you. Doesn't look bare to me. You take a brief moment amid the heated desperation to drink the sight of each other in, Ethan's eyes glimmering in worship as he looks at you. You're perfect, Casey. Ethan. He runs his warm hands up your bare thighs and you shiver from the contact. He kneels between your legs, eyes intent at your most intimate area. May I taste you? The husky, almost broken quality of his voice nearly undoes you, almost as much as his hooded gaze, his flushed cheeks, his curved lips. All I want is to feel you on me. With a smile, he leans forward with a gasp at you sharply as you feel his lips melting against your body, like they were meant to be there. The hot, wet heat of his mouth, the gentle pressure of his tongue moving over you, makes you moan in delight. Ethan, please. You gasp as Ethan works you expertly with his mouth, relishing the soft, wet sounds of his lips against you. Reaching down, you tangle your fingers in Ethan's hair, leaning back on the desk and offering yourself to his mouth. Fully. The soft vibration of his hum penetrates you to the core, and you cry out as your whole body responds with a shiver. And still his mouth works you knowingly, a spell-binding mix of soft, almost gentle licks, quick, hot breath puffing against you. He's so hungry for you. Ethan, you're so good. You gasp as he adds one more last wonderful sensation on top of his clever mouth, equally clever fingers gently stroking, slipping inside. You feel yourself beginning to crash the sensations intense and wonderful, but you don't want to peak without him. Ethan, stop. I want to all of you in me. His breath is coming in pants, like he's running a marathon, and you feel a thrill as you realize how tightly he's been holding this need in check. Tell me how. Ethan, please. Bend me over the desk. Something dark and hungry glitters in his eyes, and he pauses for a brief moment to speak, his voice thick. Turn around. The hot, heavy tone of his voice makes something clench inside you, and you obey, bending over the desk and presenting yourself to him. At first, you feel nothing but cool air and a whimper for him, then a wonderful teased warmth nudging against you, tantalizing you, making you rock back until... Oh... You feel him, every inch of him, the pressure that courses through you at the sensation is so intense that you grip onto the edges of the desk. His hips bump against you from behind as he drives home again and again. Right there. Without thinking, you buck against him, needing more of him. Your movements draw a hiss from him, and he bends over, lips in your ear. Do you like that? Yes. You press your cheek against the desk, close your eyes, and moan as he thrusts again and again, your hips rocking back in answer. You feel his warm hands around your waist, guiding you, holding you down. You gasp suddenly as you arch as he hits the sweet spot again, so sharp, so perfect. His hands slide around your hips and under your body, stroking, teasing, and supporting. Let's go, I've got you. Oh, I know. As you lose yourself in the endless, ecstatic rhythm of his body against yours, his warmth inside you, you hear him panting in time, his breath puffing in your ear. But it's more than a pant. It takes you a few lust-crazed seconds to realize that it's your name whispered on every thrust, every move. Hearing him repeat your name over and over like a prayer moves something in you, making it ache, and without conscious thought, you move against him faster in a frenzied effort to ease the ache. Fingernails clenching around the edge of the desk for purchase, you scream in pleasure as you finally hit your peak, the ache cresting and crashing, and your body exploding in sensation. The arching of your body and the snap of hips against his claims Ethan as well, and he roars as he thrusts one last time. Hello and welcome to Lion King. The fireworks consume you both, bodies bucking and writhing, while your minds wide out until, at last, Ethan collapses on top of you, sweating and panting for air. At last, with a slight grunt, Ethan shifts his weight to lie back on the desk, and with a little effort, shuffling, managed to arrange you so that you're curled up against his chest. That was... You're unable to finish your sentence, so you relish the feeling of his chest beneath your cheek. His arms around you for a long time. You're about to doze off when, unexpectedly, he sighs. Ethan, are you alright? Oh, more than alright. That was incredible. But now, I can think straight. All I can think about is that, what this year has taught me about myself, you, and us. You open your mouth to speak, but find his warm fingerprint tip pressing against your lips. I don't know how I would have gone through this year without your warmth, your support, but you didn't give me that because I was your teacher. You gave it to me because you believed in me. Even to the point where you were standing up for me in court, fighting for me. I don't think I ever felt so moved, so cared for. Well, I did learn from the best. I had a chance to shape you as a doctor, but you don't need my instruction anymore. You're my equal, Casey. You have been for a long time. Once I realized that, I saw the thing between us. It means more to me than I let myself acknowledge. The truth is, I wasn't paying attention. Somehow I fell in love with you. Ethan... I think I've been in love with you for a while. It just took me a lot for me to finally admit it to myself. And now that I have to know if you feel the same way. If this is what we have means as much to you as it does to me. Ethan, of course I'm in love with you. I love you and love everything about you, good, bad, and otherwise. I love you. His eyes widen in a hushed kind of awe as you murmur your love again and again, and he cups your chin in both hands, looking deep into your eyes. You love me? He says it with a shocked reverence, and then the dam breaks. The most beautiful smile you've ever seen breaks out across his face. I can't believe it. You and I know. Why did we wait this long to say it? I'm not waiting a second longer. I love you, Casey Valentine, more than I've ever loved anything in this world. He kisses you, fiercely, proudly, and you laugh into the kiss as you wrap your arms around him, feeling your chest bursting with joy. And when he releases you, you smile playfully at him. So, guessing this means we're together now? No, and for as long as you'll have me. And I'm going to treasure every second. Oh, Ethan. You kiss again, gentler and softer this time, savoring the lovely intimacy settling between you. You nuzzle his nose as your lips part. Then he laughs. Any trace of somber, sedate Ethan is gone. I still can't believe it, so what do we do now? Listen, we go to the railing in front of everybody and just rail. Rail against the machine. I mean, what? You mean besides ride off into the sunset and have a happily ever after? That certainly sounds appealing, but I was thinking less about our long-term future and more about the next hour or two. Oh, right. What would you like to do? I imagine the party is still going on, and I wouldn't want to keep you from that if that's, want to enjoy yourself. But if not, we could slip away and head back to my apartment. You could spend the night, have some more intimate time together. Frankly, now that I know you feel the same way I do, I want to spend every morning I can waking up in your arms. I think we should head back to the party together. As lovely as spending the night in your arms sounds, I wouldn't miss the party for the world. Only this time I want you there with me. You do? Of course I do. Don't you think I want to show off my new boyfriend? Boyfriend. I never thought any title would suit me as well as doctor, but I could get used to this one. You should. I'm going to be calling you by that for a while. And now that we're officially a couple, I want to sing it to the world. I want everyone to see us side by side. See that we're a team. Clearly touched by your words, Ethan leans forward and kisses you gently, looking you adoringly as he pulls away. Facing the world and our friends as a real couple, huh? You know, you make a convincing argument. Alright, I'll join you. But not without getting dressed first. Oh, I don't know, showing up naked would certainly make a hell of a splash for your return. Laughing, Ethan gathers up his clothing, as you do too. The two of you get dressed and head back to the party, Ethan's hand warm and reassuring in yours. And then, just like that, it's your last day as a resident. You can't shake a feeling of nostalgia as you head into work. The feeling persists when you get to the office to meet up with the diagnostics team, your last case discussion as a resident. The patient reports fatigue, pelvic bloating, oddly enough, signs of pleural effusion. Any history of heart condition? Really, we're just going to move on past the other patient and not confirm that that's what he had? Really? Your last time interviewing a patient as a resident. Can you tell me more about when the weight loss started, ma'am? I just see it started about 60 years ago. I really like the tofu, diet. That's all I've been eating. I know I'm skin over bones, but the last round as a resident, your last visit to the clinic to treat a patient. And will that make my chest pain go away? Oh, thank you, Dr. Valentine. Thank you so much. Even the familiar power struggles take on a bittersweet tinge. You want to go straight to the drawing out the pleural fluid? Would you like to do a lung biopsy while you're at it? Why not? Taking the fluid in the lungs would at least discount Mech syndrome a lot quicker than another blood test. You listen to them almost absently as the team makes its way to the patient's room, slowly realizing you're on Tobias' side this time. Testing the pleural fluid would help identify the condition quickly. Ethan is too worried about possible damage to see that. And the thought makes you pause and you glance over to Ethan, observing his expression, feeling a warm mix of emotions. I wonder, when was it that I stopped being Ethan, or seeing him as a mentor and started seeing him as my peer? Casey, are you alright? We were just wondering what you thought, what you're smiling about. Oh, sorry, I was just thinking, Tobias is right about drawing the fluid from the lungs. The risk goes real low, but we can rule out tuberculosis or cancer much more easily. True. Plus, we need to weigh the risk of procedure against the risk that might stack up if we don't find an answer quickly. Ethan opens his mouth and then shuts it again. After a long pause, he nods. Alright, you make a fair point. We'll take a sample and get it to the lab. The day keeps speeding by, and before long, you find yourself stopping by the office for one last look, allowing yourself one last wave of nostalgia. You're just about to leave when... Casey, wasn't expecting you. Is everything alright? Yeah, it's just... And then you're interrupted by a knock on the door. Naveen, what are you doing here?
Oh, hoping to catch you, though I'm glad I made it here before Casey left. May as well get things sorted with everyone at the same time. I have a proposition for you, as you know. Now that I'm stepping down, I have to find someone to succeed me as Chief of Medicine, and I'd like that someone to be you, Ethan.
There's a shocked silence. Ethan's jaw drops as he stares at Naveen in a mixed amazement and sorrow. And finally, Ethan clears his throat deliberately. Naveen, I could never fill your shoes.
No, should you? Pick out your own shoes. We wear entirely different sizes, after all. That said, you've been ready for this for a long time. I can't think of anyone I'd rather have carry on my legacy here at Edenbrook. To be honest, I'd hope you'd be my successor for ages. Thanks to recent events, I'm lucky enough to pass on the torch myself.
Naveen, there's no way I could live up to your example. What did we just say about different shoes?
And I hope you won't try to replicate my time here. After all, we both seen I'm not infallible. None of us are. I'm proud to have been your mentor, but you can't be holden to the past. Forge your own future, Ethan, for yourself and for the hospital.
I'll think about it. Satisfied, Naveen turns to you, his eyes twinkling and a smile on his lips.
Of course, if you do decide to take me up on my offer, you'll need to find the right replacement to take over the diagnostics team.
Wait, is he saying... Winking at you, Naveen sweeps out the door, leaving you a little stunned in the aftermath. Ethan turns to you, expression troubled. I honestly don't know about this. I'm not sure I'm ready. Besides, I'm a doctor, not an administrator. You're both. The way I see it... Naveen has faith in you. The fact that he still thinks you're the right man for the job should tell you everything, Ethan. Oh, all I can see is that Naveen has always had a soft spot for me. Don't be modest, he's always seen your promise, and that's exactly what's happening now. After everything you went through to uphold his legacy, with all the trust you've always placed in him, shouldn't you trust him this time too? Ethan falls silent, considering. When he looks up again, his face is calmer and resolved. Well, I still don't know if I'm ready for this, exactly, but I'm willing to try for Naveen's sake, if nothing else. And speaking of ready, I think you might be as ready as well, Casey. For what? To take over the head of the diagnostics team, of course. Me? But I'm barely out of residency. And who has literally just telling me a minute ago not to worry about so much being ready? I will say this, that if you take this position, Naveen's advice to me applies to you as well. You know I will always be there for you if you need me, but frankly, you haven't needed me in quite a long time. Over 3 years at Edenbrook, you've proven again and again that you will always put the patient's needs first. I learned from the best there. I didn't realize I had any sort of reputation around the hospital. You do, and it's sterling. You've been ready to blossom on your own for a while now, and leading this team might be the way you can do that. You feel staggered by the offer, possibilities swirling in your head. You close your eyes for a moment to really focus. Think about what you want, and then respond. Ethan, thank you. I accept. I know how much this team means to you. It means a lot to me too, and I'm gonna do everything I can to make it the best team I can. I want to carry on your legacy, even if I did end up taking it in a different direction than you might. And that's why I know you're the right doctor for the job. I can't think of anyone I'd rather hand the reins to than you. You're a fresh perspective, a drive to help our patients, and you realize what it's important to bend so that we don't break. He looks at you with so much pride and affection and love in his eyes that you can't resist rushing into his embrace, feeling his arms around you, hearing him whisper in your ear. I'm so proud of you, Casey, and I love you so much. I don't think I've ever felt this happy before. Me neither. Thank you for trusting me with this. Alright, I'm gonna finish my rounds, and I should, when should I expect to start driving the train? I'll keep you posted, but it won't be long. And with one last smile at Ethan, you head out the door and down the lobby to meet with your friends. Side by side with your friends, you walk out of Edenbrook, heads held high. It's a strange feeling walking away, knowing that we're finally finished, that our time is done. Speak for yourself, Dr. Kenmore. I'm taking a second year as chief resident. After that, sounds like they might have an attending position. Wait, you're sticking around specifically for more intern wrangling? What can I say? Sometimes we discover hidden talents. Bryce and I have another year of residency. Elijah's staying for research. Raph's still working in the hospital. Even you're not going for Aurora. Sounds to me like nothing is going to change that much. Unless, as if sharing the same thought, they all turn to you. You've been quiet, Casey. What are you planning to do next? Oh, nothing much. Just lead the diagnostics team. Whoa, for real? They made you head of the team? You nod with a smile and are greeted with a chorus of congratulations. I suppose that answers the question of whether we'll be keeping the apartment. Maybe with your new salary, we could even upgrade. Listen, I'm not paying for this shit. Sounds like some things are changing. The best things are staying the same. You look back at the hospital that has meant so much to you, that forged your skills in medicine, your fiercest friendships of your life, and some of your frenemies. And the experience might be coming to an end, but something else is just getting started for all of us. Smiling, you sling your arms around Aurora and see at a shoulder, squeezing them affectionately. What counts is that we made it through together. Thank you for playing Open Heart. We hope you enjoyed your time in Edenbrook as much as we enjoyed telling the story, Pixelberry. Well, without further ado, thank you all for watching. You know what to do. It's there on the screen. Please do so if you're not already a member of our community. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit the bell thing so you can receive notifications for when content goes live. And without further ado, let me say the following about Open Heart. I will really miss this book. It literally was one of the last great books Pixelberry has been doing with this app. We are now going into unknown territory because everything else they're doing is meh in my comparison and thoughts. So for those of you who are curious on what is happening with me and Pixelberry and everything else, well, I think it's time to lead to a new isle, a new course, and a new destiny. So stay tuned for that and what's coming up next. But I will miss Open Heart. I loved medical shit. I loved watching House. I loved watching ER. I loved watching a lot of things. And then, you know, it's kind of like a side passion, hobby, or interest of mine is looking into medical things. And, you know, being well-versed, knowledgeable, and whatnot. Because that is what you should look for in life. is to continue learning, even if it's outside of your wheelhouse. Never stop learning, and that is the one thing I will leave with you. Aside from that, once again, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you on our stream later today on Twitch. Peace out.